To today's report, the 22nd of November 2024. Right, today I want to talk a bit about IBIT, decoding IBIT options, balancing optimism and speculations in Bitcoin's bull cycle. Now, BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF, or better known as IBIT options, launched on November 19, achieving remarkable success with a trading volume of 1.9 billion US dollars. A total of 288,740 calls, or in other words, in terms like buy options, right, were recorded compared to 64,970 puts or sell options, reflecting a striking 4.4 to 1 ratio. Now, this contributed to the bullish movements we have seen so far in Bitcoin. Now, if you look at this chart, right, whole options volume right over here, Eric Balkunas highlighted strong trading activity at the 55 strike price, followed by 60 and surprisingly 100 as well. You have also the 65 here, but surprisingly 100 as well, illustrating where traders are focusing their interests. Now, IBIT here tracks Bitcoin prices with a multiplier of 1.750. This is a rough multiplier, yeah? Meaning IBIT prices correlate to Bitcoin values as follows. Now, if the IBIT rises to 55 strike, we are talking about a 96,250 US dollars per Bitcoin. Now, if it's a 60 strike, 105,000, 65 strike, 113,750, and 100 strike of 175,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. So these are, you can see the volume. Basically, to make it very simple for you, on the right hand side are all the shows of it's all the buys, and you can see the buys over here basically overcome all the sells on the left hand side right here. So when you have more buys over here, typically, it's not 100%, but typically it gives the bullish vibe, and that's the reason why you're seeing Bitcoin has been rising of late. Now let's analyze the dynamics. While high call volume may suggest bullish sentiment, it does not guarantee a price increase for the underlying asset. The relationship is complex and influenced by factors such as trader profile. That means who are the people buying? Are they retailers or institutional participation? The purpose of trading, is it speculative bets or hedging strategies? And finally, market conditions. We need to also look at the open interest, implied volatility, and price movements. So let's look into the first part first, analyze one by one. Now, first of all is the trader profile. Now, institutional investors have played a significant role in IBIT's trading activity so far. Over the past 24 months, institutions have purchased approximately 45.6 million IBIT shares, amounting to 1.67 billion in transactions. Key players include IMC Chicago LLC, Bridge Capital LLC, and D. Shaws and Company. And we also have the big ones, you know, the big companies also buying into it. Now, their presence signals confidence in IBIT as a credible and viable investment vehicle, right? So this boosts market trust, especially for retail investors who often look to institutional activity as a sign of reliability. So first part over here is, if it's institutional, there is that support there because the real money is there, right? So let's move on to the second part, which is the purpose of trading, right? What's the purpose? Now, this is difficult to determine at the moment. We can only deduce that there is a higher chance of speculation because Bitcoin is in its early stages of the bull cycle. Now, speculations can drive price higher, especially in the short term, by creating demand and market momentum. Okay, so far we're seeing, because we are still in the early stages of bull cycle, so probably there's a lot of speculation rather than anything else over there. So that part done. And finally, we come to the market dynamics, right? So for the December 2020 24 options, now when those that are still new to options, when you see December 20, that means these options will expire by December 20. Okay, so we look into the nearest one first, which is roughly about a month from now. Now, significant open interest is concentrated at 55 strike, with 8,710 open interest, 65 strike at 15,100 open interest, and 100 strike 6,940 open interest. Now, looking at it, right, the one with the highest open interest is the 65 strike. So the 65 strikes, which correspond to Bitcoin at 113,750, stands out with the 564 contracts in trading volume, number one. Okay, because apart from open interest, we need to look at the volume too. Now, the 5,640 volume is also if you look at the option chain right there, it belongs to the higher end of volume as well. So this level shows high activity and indicates traders are positioning for potential price movements around this mark. This also means 96,250 area, which is the 55 strike, would be breached, which it did, with Bitcoin making a high of 97,852 at writing. Correct, no? So when you have open interest, which is higher in this area, together supported by volume, the price usually moves towards that area, and we have seen that already, right? So what about the 100 strike? So let's look into the 100 strike. Meanwhile, the 100 strike, representing Bitcoin at 175,000, has an open interest of 6,940 with an option price at 20 cents per contract. Now, if you look at the 20 cents per contract over here, this suggests speculative interest because there's no meat right over here. It's more likelihood of reaching this price by December remains low, and it's more of a long shot bet or a punt. It's more like a gamble. That's how I view it. So look at the pricing over here. Now, probably we might not reach that. Okay, so as a conclusion, options pricing and open interest in IBIT point to a market leaning towards cautious optimism with strategic positioning rather than speculative exuberance. The concentrated interest at 55 and 65 strikes reflects a realistic expectation of Bitcoin price moving within 96,250 to 113,750 in 2024, aligning with the early bull cycle narrative. Now, the implied volatility for the December 20 calls is currently at the 60% range. If implied volatility increases, it could indicate stronger bullish sentiment. Okay, particularly if accompanied by a notable rise in Bitcoin price, number one, trading volume at the strikes, and open interest on calls relative to puts. Okay, so these are things, those that are trading options in the IBIT. To give you a better idea, look into these areas. Okay, so with that, that's a report for today.